Impromptu video. Really not in the mood for it, but this video has been weighing on my conscience for some time now. Um, Actually, for the longest time, the experience that I'm going to be talking about, I didn't think of making it a YouTube video until like months after it happened. But I was having some issues with my computer software on recording the screen, so I actually recorded the video on my iPhone, and then I was going to download it from my iCloud to my computer software. And blase squaze, long story short, I finally got the activation code to share my screen for the computer software. So I'm just going to go ahead and play this video off YouTube. Now, what I'm about to tell you guys is one of those situations where it's almost so sacred that I feel a little bit like protective over sharing it because it's just such a powerful situation. And it's kind of like I want to keep it to myself because it's so special. And how could anyone understand how much it means to me besides me? You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing that okay, so what I'm going to talk about is I'm going to tell you guys about the time that my astrology teacher confirmed me astral traveling. And the way that he confirmed it, you guys, this is so lit. Okay, so he's a YouTuber, and if you're in the Vedic astrology community, you know what a big deal he is. KRS. Okay? His YouTube channel is how I found his academy. And so I'm a student of his academy, right? Okay, so I'm always watching his YouTube videos. I'm always watching, his lectures on his academy. I'm just very involved in what he's got going on in his life and following the things he's talking about, the way he lives his life. And another thing, he's introduced me to so many like great spiritual masters, and I do a lot of the stuff that he recommends, and the people that he recommends I follow because I just really look up to him. He's a really great, amazing person. So yeah, every so often, he doesn't do them as regularly now, but he'll do a little satsang where he does like a question and answer video. And on the previous video, you comment your questions and he'll pick between them. So I'm gonna have to like really go back and look how many he gets like thousands of comments. Okay, he's got like 500,000 subscribers, but he gets thousands of comments of people asking questions. And I rarely ask questions because I feel like I'm never gonna get picked, right? Well, let me just tell you, on one of his satsangs, as soon as I typed the question, I knew that minute, I like that second that I typed it, I knew he was going to answer my question. I just knew it. I was like, hell yes. That's the best question ever. Because, okay, so my question was asking about, he calls this vein the jyotish nadi. Now, I have opened this chakra, but I've never heard anyone call it an jyotish is a branch of astrology, Vedic astrology, and nadi is an energy center. So this is a jyotish vein, and I'm like, tell me more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've activated this chakra, but I want to hear what he has to say about it. So I'm honestly like receiving information through it and images. And I'm like, I asked him in the video or in his satsang, I'm like, am I supposed to use these images to help people? Because one of the first images that I got that I knew came from this vein was someone's birth chart that I was looking at. And I was laying in bed to sleep that night, and I felt the information coming in, and I felt his emotions and what he was going through and what was holding him back. So I'm like, am I supposed to like tell this guy what I don't want to, I just don't want to say like sad things or tell people bad things. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway. So yeah, so I'm a huge advocate for if you feel suddenly tired to take a nap because sometimes work can be done on you in other realms, and it can't happen while in your waking hours. So yeah, one day my sister was actually here visiting, and my niece must have been about 8 years old at the time. We blew up an air mattress because I have a little small twin bed, but she wanted to sleep with me, so I blew up the air mat and I had it here in this room. And we had gotten up and eaten, and I think my sister might have been gone or something happened to where the air mat was still out, and I was like, I'm really tired. I'm gonna take a little nap. And as I was falling asleep, I felt all of my chakras opening up. And for those of you who don't know, you know, I've had people ask me, how do I know if I've had Kundalini? And I'm like, it's as bright as the sun. I got that from Sadhguru. It's as bright as the sun, you can't miss it. You can't miss it. And it's really actually surprising to me that I can fall asleep with all of that energy running through my body. But I think maybe the only reason the energy could run through my body at that rate is because I was almost falling asleep. You know what I'm saying? In that twilight zone where you're no longer thinking and your body and mind are completely relaxed. So yeah, all my chakras opened up and I fell asleep, and I'm not sure how long I was out, but whenever I woke up, okay, so in my dream, I saw my astrology teacher and I saw him in person. This was not on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I'll dream about something I'm going to be watching. This was not on the screen, y'all. I saw him in person. We were face to face. And he looked over at me, and then I woke up and I freaked out. I ran in the living room. I was like, "Oh my God, Sheila, guess what I saw? Guess what I saw?" And I was thinking it was going to be the future, right? I was thinking it was going to be the future because a lot of times I have premonitions, or I'm time traveling, and so I was like, yes, I'm going to go to some conference and meet him. Like this is so cool. I was just really excited about it, but let me tell you, okay, so when I was face to face with him, do you know what? Like it's like, okay, so when you're outside of your body, even if you're just looking at an image, you can gather the energy of the entire situation and what that person's thinking and how they're feeling and what they're going through. So what I realized is that I don't know anything about astrology and that I need to work harder. So I just kind of like buckled down a little bit more, and I'll have phases where I'm like really into it, into the transits and the sadhanas and everything, and then I'll like get distracted and I'll like be working on something else for a while, but I always come back to it. But so yeah, he told me I didn't know shit basically, and I'm like, okay, you're right. So anyways, a few days go by and I'm just living my normal life, and then he comes out with another weekly satsang. And would you believe that finally he answered me and he answered my question, but before he answered my question, he sees an apparition. And so I'm going to go ahead and record my screen now that I finally got the software working. Because I paid $10 to be able to record my screen so I can show y'all him seeing my apparition. And so, oh my God, you guys, this just it solidifies my spiritual progress and my study of astrology. It's just like rock solid, my faith in it. And I'm just really grateful to have had that experience. And not only that, but for him to have been recording the video at the time that I traveled to him and then published it on YouTube. Didn't even edit it out or anything. And it was me. Anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and show that. The money shot is my debut on KRS channel. Okay, so before I show you this clip, I'm just gonna walk you through like what happens in his video. First of all, my the first name of my YouTube channel, I wanted it to be a tarot card channel because that's what I originally like started loving YouTube for, was tarot cards. But I feel like maybe I'm not very skilled in that area, at least not yet. So the first name of my YouTube channel was Shakti Tarot. Now, for those of you who don't know, I do have a cleaning company named Shakti Cleaning, so I don't have any proof that Shakti Tarot was my YouTube name, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it, okay? So in this clip, he's discussing how many points Saturn's giving to whatever house. It's called it's a technique called oh, I can't think of it. It's a jyotish technique, okay, where certain planets and certain houses give a certain number of points, yielding certain results. So he's just discussing like technical terms of a branch of astrology. And then he sees my apparition, finishes the question, and then he answers my question. So I'm guessing that during my nap, my soul decided that it was so excited that he was going to finally answer my question, and it couldn't wait on the video for him to answer. So I went and got the answer to my question while he was recording it, which is awesome and so encouraging. So let me go ahead and play that for you.
At 1 year. But here's the problem. And I'm seeing this so much right now, even in my transit reading that I'm doing. Sometimes Saturn will give 0 points to the sign of Capricorn. I think I just saw an apparition. Wow. Wow, this is strange. Okay. I don't know what that means, but okay. I just saw something. But anyway, so the double transit of Jupiter and Saturn. The third question is Shakti Tarot. Can you explain the jyotish vein in the information and energy received and supposed to help us, our clients? So jyotish vein, I've talked about this jyotish nadi becoming active, where suddenly you can just literally grasp every knowledge related to astrology. There are several ways. One of the ways is reciting Shukra mantra. I believe it goes like Om Hamikundana something, Om Hamikundanulara something, and then Daitya Nam Paramam Guru Sarvashastra Pavaktaram Bhargavam Pranamamyaham. However, don't think that you just reciting this mantra is suddenly going to activate Jyotish Nadi. Do you know how many you have to do? 100,000. 100,000 renunciation of this Shukra mantra. Because it is Shukracharya, the son of Brigu, that is able to open this nadi. But it's not easy. Nothing is easy. Otherwise, everybody would be at Jyotish. You've got to do 100,000. I heard it's between 100 and 500,000 mantra chanting of the Shukra mantra. And not like Om Shukraya Namah, the actual Vedic mantra that I just gave you. So if you're willing to do that, you're on your way. Then
And I had to take my hoodie off because I start sweating profusely. And I don't know, sometimes I just get like the spiritual sweat, like I just get really hot and start pouring sweat. But yeah, that's really exciting. That's so cool. And I've had other experiences, just a small handful, of a friend of mine, astral traveling in my bedroom twice a night, once in midday. And I'm pretty sure that that was similar to the experience that my astrology teacher had. But yeah. Oh my god, I have a terrible headache right now. But so one of the masters that he's led me to, Sri M, in his book, apprenticed to a Himalayan master. His guru does something similar and describes like the science behind um, like allowing their bodies not to reflect light and how they can basically make their image disappear. But so yeah, that was a really interesting experience, and I'm so glad that he caught it on camera because it just meant so much more to me to see him play back what I knew I saw. Play it for me, you know? Um, and I'm a little starstruck too, I look up to him so much. I hear him talk about whenever he used to be a janitor and he would sit in the big executive chair when he would be cleaning the building at night. So, he's one of the reasons that I joined the Order of the Eastern Star because he's a Freemason. And so that's one of my places that I clean now is the lodge. And so I'll sit in the worthy matron's chair with a high back and just pretend I'm the worthy matron. It just reminds me of him, something that he would have done. So I'm just glad to be studying under like such great scholars and researchers of astrology. And I'm so glad that I've taken this path because, of course, it's something I'm passionate about, but it's also something that's happening to my consciousness, to my body, to my experience in other realms, and, you know, bending time and space. Um, it's a really, it's not unique. I mean, it happens regularly, but it's just really interesting, and this is what I love. This is my passion. So this is what makes me feel alive. And I'm just glad to have been able to create a platform in order to share it. And if anyone has had similar situations, please comment below. Let me know. Go ahead and DM me on Instagram if you have anything you want to talk about or ask me about. And so, yeah, don't you know I love you to death? You're the most beautiful thing God ever created. Long live the infinite creator.